Anaheim, Calif. The road to Houston began in McCasland Field House. 40 seasons ago, Lloyd Noble Center replaced the Regal Field House as the home of Sooner basketball. But when Joe Castiglione hired Kruger to coach Sooner hoops 5 years ago this week, the celebratory press conference was moved to the old gym where Kruger himself had played for Kansas State back when the world was young. Nice hire. We all thought that day. Good hire. Good, stable hire. A steady hand is just what OU basketball needed. Kruger wouldn't start the grass fire that Billy Tubbs ignited with Sooner hoops. Kruger wouldn't bring the remarkable consistency that Kelvin Sampson provided with intensity that could cower a biker bar. But Kruger would put gas back in the tank. Kruger would get the crimson car back on the highway. Boy, were we ever wrong. Kruger wasn't a nice hire. Kruger was a home run hire. Kruger didn't get the car back on the road. He put the Sooners in a Maserati. OU is on its way to the Final Four with the nation's two best stories. It's not just Buddy Hield, a lovable superstar with a smile as wide as the margin by which the West Regional was blitzed by these Sooners. It's also the Four Horsemen, the four OU veterans who have made 104 straight starts together and repelled the instant gratification culture of the sport. College basketball teaches players to turn pro if they're great and transfer if they're not. Teaches players that only a few schools can provide the ladder to cut down nets. Teaches a divine right to victory, with no patience required. Until this Oklahoma team of a skip no-step superstar and a quartet with more endurance than U2. And best of all, while OU basketball got more than it bargained for, it did not get less than it bargained for. The same absolute class, the same steady hand, the same simple decency that so often is lacking in big-time sport. Kruger supplied them all. I would absolutely have no doubt in sending my son to play for him, said Kruger's great friend and Saturday foe, Oregon coach Dana Altman. He's going to get after them when he needs to have somebody get after him. He's going to put his arm around him when he needs somebody to put his arm around him. So you'd want your son to play for coach. There is no doubt about it. ? Altman said that Friday, before the OU-Oregon game. He meant it still Saturday. After the Sooners thumped the Ducks 80-68, Altman visited the OU locker room to congratulate not just Kruger, but his assistants and players alike. That's the great thing about class. It rubs off. He's a teacher, said Sooner senior Ryan Spangler. He's not going to yell at you. He's going to engrave it in your mind. If you do something wrong or if you do something right, he's going to engrave it in your mind and you're going to do the right thing and you're not going to do the wrong thing. You've got to look at what he's done to us as men and as basketball players the last 4 years. We owe him everything. ?